And we are off. So, primary functions, inactive list. Secondary functions, set up your team to not lose on championship day. Welcome to the party. I'm slumming today. Just chilling, nothing. I got 2 title games going. Additionally, I have the King of Kings tournament going. So, inactives matter. A lot of people out there are going to have anywhere from, best ball tournaments to their redraft, their home, local leagues, all that stuff. So, when it's all said and done, we just got to know who's active and who's not. It's the best we can do. Besides that, week 17, you start your studs. There's not a complicated method here. I will be doing any start and sit, answer questions. I haven't been doing this as regularly lately, so I don't know how many attendees we'll actually have at all today. We do have the inactives rolling in. They still have 14 minutes until we are locked in. So, sorry, I'm messing with, I got the multi-computer setup going on here. Not new, I just gonna keep looking away. So the key here is a couple things going on. One is continuing to monitor, projection capabilities, because while an inactive may matter for your roster, what also matters is how that inactive affects the game plan, which further matters on the other team. And overall, we could have a serious shift. See, Jonas Griffith is keep popping up as a real sleeper candidate this year, or today. This year. Year's almost over, and he just started playing 2 weeks ago. The big one today is whether or not Kenny Young plays. If Kenny Young doesn't play, Jonas Griffith is going to be the number 1 lead linebacker for Denver. Denver has not reported yet. I mean, we've got quite a few. I'm not going through them yet. I'm scanning them, but just trying to get a feel for if anything's going to be, throwing off the games of anything today. Mike Evans and Antonio Brown are active. Welcome them to the party. Mike Evans might be on a pitch count, so don't be shocked there if he's not the regular Mike Evans we're used to. But that's also because Tampa Bay might be better able to just run the ball and burn up the clock, get out of there healthy. That's another thing today. A lot of teams are going to be worried if they're playoff bound. They're going to be worried about getting out healthy. They're not going to be worried about running up the scoreboard. Now, they'll do it if it's available, if it's there, but you don't have teams that are going out of their way to blow up. Dallas, we might not see a 50-burger just because, why? They're done. Unless Green Bay loses to Minnesota with a third-string backup quarterback, Sean Mannion, unless Green Bay loses, Dallas is not catching them. So Dallas, while they'll try to win, they're not going to risk their team. All right, Carson Wentz in. That is one that matters to a lot of people. Not so much to me. I didn't hang my hopes on all my Jonathan Taylor teams are out. Go figure. The rest of the team sucked. But my Jonathan Taylor shares, they're out. So matters to a lot of people who have Jonathan Taylor in this week. Not so much to me. but Carson Wentz is active. That also is good news for Michael Pittman if you need him. Jack Doyle is going to play, which means that Mo Alley Cox, I'm still counting on him as kind of a low-end tight end too, like maybe the 15th, 16th tight end over the board, but he's not going to be peppered with targets because Jack Doyle's going to split some of those. Now, J.J. Taylor's out. N'Keal Harry out is with Aguilar is actually a kind of little bit of a shock. Is that Justin Jefferson? Because I'll tell you right now, Amon-Ra is going to ball out. But a guy like Justin Jefferson, you just can't bench. I know everybody's talking about whether or not, Sean Mannion can even get him the ball. The reality is there is no other pass catcher. KJ Osborne and holy crap, I forgot the number 3. But KJ Osborne is good, but he's not somebody that's going to actually take down the targets. So, I heard somebody on another show talk about doubling down on Justin Jefferson. Make no mistake, Justin Jefferson gets 2 corners. He gets sometimes an underneath linebacker in the zone coverage, and he definitely gets a cover safety. So this is not new. Okay, getting extra defensive attention is not new. I cannot bench Justin Jefferson, but Amon-Ra is look, he's doing what his brother was supposed to do. I'm trying to pull up an additional ranking sheet to see if there's something new. What I can tell you is there is no major quarterback wide receiver matchup there on either side to worry about. One question I will have is whether or not DeAndre Swift coming back and that being the strength of their team means that they're going to run more on the ground. We don't really know yet. That's not a... All right, what did I just do? I don't know what the hell I just did. Hang tight with me just a moment. And let me get your positional matchups here. I just want to double down on one other thing that I look at. So in this case, no problem. Thank you for being here. Justin Jefferson, the differential between number 1 and number 2, right? You got Dallas, you have Gallup, Amari Cooper, and CeeDee Lamb. On any given week, they can alternate who's going to be the lead dog. You don't have that in Minnesota, all right? Even when KJ Osborne has a good day, the differential, you're looking at a projection of roughly, let's go to 16-ish, depending on your league, 16 PPR points. Maybe you drop down to about 13, 14 for Amon-Ra. I mean, damn, I don't even know where the next dude is for either one of these teams. Yeah, KJ Osborne. You're looking at like 4 for 40. 4 catches, 40 yards. That's not a lot of activity. Even if they get 6 to 8 targets, you're looking at, 35 throws, playing catch up to, let's say 30 throws, playing catch up to Green Bay in garbage time. If you're giving 2 or 3 to the running back, you're giving 2 or 3 to the tight end, that's barely half of the targets, which means Justin Jeff, you're looking at 10 to 15 targets, which is a regular day for him. Amon-Ra has gotten those over the last few weeks. Question is, quality of targets, right? Sean Mannion. Oof. I have to start Justin Jeff. I don't have a choice. I will not sit somebody. All right, let's roll through some of these inactives. So Justin Fields is definitely out. We got Chicago reporting, Tennessee, Miami, Philly, New England. A lot of people reporting. So N'Keal Harry's out. A couple defensive players for Tennessee. Nobody else on their inactive list, which means they're starting all 3 of their running backs today. That's going to be a mess. Miami, I wouldn't start the running backs anyways, but against Tennessee, but they got a couple linebackers out, background linebackers, nobody major. Miles Sanders is definitely inactive. We expected that. Jordan Howard being active doesn't mean he's healthy enough to play. What it does mean, I would go with Russell Gage, on a heartbeat. Ayuk has been there when needed, but you've got a rookie running back or a rookie quarterback coming in. Rookie quarterbacks statistically and historically are bad for more than one single pass catcher in their offense. Being as this is only his second start, and we don't know what's going to happen, but we know they're going to lean on Elijah Mitchell, means that you've got less of a probability that Ayuk's going to blow up. Okay, especially if Debo's the target hog, and Shanahan's game plan has always been about having a primary pass catcher. Gage is a shot in the dark, but what the hell? What are you going to do? So Kadarius Toney, Colin Johnson, John Ross. It's not Josh, it's John Ross are out. So that leaves us with Slayton, Shepard, and Evan Ingram as your pass catchers in New York. Yeah, New York's still ugly. They're more ugly than ugly can be. By the way, congratulations and good luck to everybody on a title run today. Look, you can be the best team in the league. If you don't get a little bit of luck at the end, you still may not make it to the title game, and that's just reality. I do this not for a living, but I have people that pay me to play. They get paid every year. I play year in and year out. And it's hard. A title is hard. Winning money is not. Title is. Title's always more money. So Washington, Curtis Samuel being out, not new. Montez Sweat being out, not new. Las Vegas, we have nobody important. Couple of backup, bunch of defense, but they're all backups. Backup cornerbacks. Oh, I will tell you, there was a news report came out that Sean Murphy-Bunting and Jamal Dean, the rookie cornerbacks for Tampa Bay, they were on the COVID list earlier because they hadn't tested off yet, but they wanted them at the game in case they came clear today. They were flown on a separate jet, but the pilot ended up with a positive test, which means that they had a delay, which means they just touched down in Jersey right around 11 o'clock this morning. So that's not going to matter. But it is kind of humorous the way it works. Half-point PPR. Man, I'm going Gallup. Sutton might have a huge game, but it's not going to be. It's going to be boom or bust. All right, if Locke doesn't throw it up in the air and down the field, not going to happen. MVS is going to play a little bit on game with Lazard there for the secondary catches, and they might be able to run the game out if Minnesota's not competitive. Mike Evans, we said earlier, we found out he is active, but he's going to be possibly on a pitch count. Gallup is the only one there that is going to get his regular workload. And Cooper, Lamb, they want to get out of there healthy. They might just sit back and say, you know what? Let's hit Gallup. Let's get the running game going, and let's get out of here without a problem. All right. I do also have the scout feed up now, so I'm just scanning both that and my regular feed of inactive reports to make sure we don't have anything popped out. Okay, here's another one with Mike Evans, just FYI. As of 11:44, he wasn't seen he's active, but he was not seen in the warm-ups. Antonio Brown's been out there running around and having himself a time. So if they run the ball crazy, Antonio Brown might be the only one you can really super play on that. Let's see, anybody else? Oh, look, the Packers punters officially cleared the protocols. Woohoo. Yeah, not really worried about that. Okay, Kansas City. Just like we thought, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is definitely inactive. Not a big deal. Darrell Williams is, or Darrell Williams, depending on how you pronounce it, definitely going to be capable. All right, Atlanta. Nothing to see here. Wait, I skipped over. Hold on. We got Miami, we got Philly, we got New England, we got Washington, Vegas, Cincinnati. We skipped over them. Cincinnati, Travion Williams is out, not a big deal. Jermaine Pratt. Now that's a big one. I'm actually going against because I play full IDP, full offense, defense, 22 starters. But Jermaine Pratt being out is a big one. Logan Wilson's going to see his huge snap count again today, which is good for anybody that possibly made it with him. But that's not going to alter the game plan on either side of the ball. But it is good for IDP leagues. Now, again, nothing to see with Atlanta. Emmanuel Sanders is out, so Gabriel Davis is a 100% fire him up. Jacksonville. James O'Shaughnessy is out at tight end, but I hope you weren't starting him in a title game. All right, Lamar Jackson is officially inactive. I'm sure that's been reported everywhere, nonstop. I'm scrolling backwards to make sure I don't miss something. So if you've already heard it somewhere, awesome. Keep rolling. Your big names are always going to be out there. Oh my gosh, Owe and McPhee, two of the linebackers for Baltimore, are out. That is not cool. I'm hoping for that's just strictly because they have enough defensive guys inbound and they need the extra defensive backs since all of theirs have been decimated. Jets, Michael P. Ryan, Jamison Crowder being out. We expected that. Elijah Moore's on the COOF list, which means they're down to Braxton Berrios. If you're not starting Berrios, you're really not starting anybody. If you got to start, and that's a weird thing. Look, everybody talks about in the fantasy space, the Twitter sphere, the YouTubers, everybody talks about who do you start, who do you sit. The reality is you start the best you've got. Okay? If there's better out there, go get them. Great. But understand, when somebody says you're not starting anybody on the Jets, if you don't have another wide receiver, then what you're doing is you're starting someone on the Jets and you're saying, hey, I'm praying for a big game. Right? What else are you going to do? I told you to start Gallup earlier, and I'm starting Amari Cooper. Now, if he does one of his disappearing acts, I won't be shocked, but I can't start somebody in place of him. Now, if I didn't have Amari Cooper and somebody, I'm playing against Braxton Berrios in that league, I might have to look at that third receiver on the Jets, if I don't have another flex available. That's the way the game plays. When we get to this point, especially with the COOF list, the way they've done it, we've got inactives we got to worry about. We've got changes that are just going to pop up week in and week out. Tampa Bay really doesn't have anybody major out that we didn't expect. Indianapolis, no. All right, now Detroit at Seattle is going to be rain showers and winds. So I was talking earlier about the whole Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's going to affect his game, and that's why leaning towards the run game might be something that we really see them do in that area. Okay? Oh, I love this. Minnesota at Green Bay. Them my boys, I don't know. You can't really see it over there, but that's my... this thing right here. That's my ownership certificate, but we're all Packers owners. I'm a Dolphins fan through and through, but Packers owner, and I love the 8 degrees at game kickoff. Okay, so Minnesota's coming out of a dome. They're going into 8-degree weather. That hurts me because of Justin Jefferson, right? Why? Because that ball gets rock hard. Okay? The ball gets rock hard. The air is hard. You got Sean Mannion throwing the ball. We don't know what kind of ball he's going to throw, but those receivers, their mitts are going to be hurting. Okay? It's the way the game is. I love the game. It's, played defense, coach defense. I love that, but I tried playing tight end in high school, and I could catch the ball, but man, they rocket that ball in there, and I'm like, I don't feel like catching that. Mind you, I played football in Alaska. That was high school for me. So, all right. So Cam Akers not going to play. All right, we're waiting. No, we're not waiting. Everybody's inactives are in. We are done. Okay, so inactives are done. At this point, it is literally a start-sit conversation through and through. So for any of those decisions you have to make, so late games, Monday Night Football, things like that, that's going to be where you have a choice. Do you go with your guy that you know is playing, i.e. Jaret Patterson or, Darrell, excuse me, a Darrell Williams over a James Conner, Chase Edmonds type. If you can't pivot off of James Conner and you hold out, waiting to see if he's going to start on against Dallas, you're taking a risk. The risk outweighs the benefit. The benefit outweighs the risk, however you perceive it to be. It's a choice you're going to have to make. All right? If I had to choose, I would avoid Conner just because he's likely going to be on a pitch count. All right? Does that mean don't play him if he's your best? Right now, he's questionable to play. Right now, the game plan doesn't look like it's going to be a running game thing. But he's their short yardage guy, which means he's going to punch it in at the end. So it's more one of those floor versus ceilings plays. What does that mean? That means, do you need the ceiling points? If you need the ceiling points, go with somebody that just might blow up, has an opportunity to blow up. If you need the floor points, that means that you're likely the favorite, you're leaning towards winning. A 0 by Conner is not going to kill you. In that case, you might start Conner hoping for a couple of touchdowns, right? These are the kind of things you need to think about when you're considering where you are. Trying to see what notices are coming out. Nothing still. Oof. So the guy that had Jermaine Pratt against me is starting the third stringer, Marcus Bailey. Okay. I'm looking across the rest of the landscape, and even on a good day, James Conner is outside the top 24 running backs projected through the week. Now, again, projections are something different. Projections, rankings, however you want to say it. They're really two different things, but I tend to blend them when it comes to final start-sit decisions, right? So weekly ranking might say, hey, so-and-so has a better shot at getting higher points. Thank you for the likes, everybody who's been here today too, but projections tend to go hand in hand with ranks on a weekly basis. Justin Jefferson or Higgins? Really? That's brutal. I actually have to start both, but Higgins has the better chance for getting his regular workload. All right. Justin Jefferson has a major quarterback downgrade. We don't know what we're getting out of Mannion. We don't. All right. He's not been good in the 3 starts in the history of the NFL that he's ever had. Now, Justin Jefferson, we believe, is quarterback proof, but the quarterback still has to get the ball out. Right? Higgins, with a regular workload, you know what you're getting. Right? I personally would choose Higgins this week, but saying Higgins over Justin Jefferson in a title game is a brutal decision and feels dirty. Okay? Feels dirty to say. It wouldn't shock me if, they do a lot of short passing to Justin Jefferson. They turn him into a Michael Thomas. And then all of a sudden you've got all these extra points. Am I going to count on that? Not really. To be honest, when Kirk Cousins went down in the title game I'm in, my first concern was I might lose because of Justin Jefferson. Now, even with a blow-up game from Jamar Chase, Higgins is still projected upwards of 5 catches, upwards of 78 yards, and at least half or more of a touchdown. Justin Jefferson, there's no way you can fit them both together. I mean, that would be perfect if you could somehow do that. I wouldn't bench a superstar to get Justin Jefferson in, but man, Justin Jefferson is projected, according to my last minute projections, when it gets to game day like this, you got Kupp, yeah. You ain't benching Kupp for Justin Jefferson. That ain't happening in this planet. Look, I love Kupp since day one, in dynasties, but he's doing more than any of us expected. I would lean Rashad Penny. The main thing you've got to worry about there is while Dare is going to get all the play, Jacksonville has been bad. Understand what James Robinson is. James Robinson is a classic running back, classic 3-down style running back. And I would start Kirk ahead of Pittman just because, Jonathan Taylor. But on the Dare thing, the biggest thing, man, holy crap. He might be subject to whatever Jacksonville is. A.J. Brown or Antonio Brown? A.J. Brown is getting Miami defensive backs, and I love my Fins. Antonio Brown is going to do whatever he wants. And Tom Brady wants his boy Antonio to be happy. Let's be real. I would honestly feel weird starting Antonio over A.J., but Antonio was Antonio before A.J. Brown was A.J. Brown, And I would, Mike Williams or Marquise Brown, hang tight a second because Mike Williams was still a question to play. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Now, Marquise Brown, I would see him getting locked down. I wouldn't start Marquise unless you have to. But you could start him if you think that Baltimore's going to have a lot of garbage time. Mike Williams. What just happened to Mike Williams? I'm sorry, y'all. There we go. Okay. I thought I lost my news feed. That would ruin everything because any changes. I do not see Mike Williams on the report, which means he is playing. I would start Mike Williams over Marquise Brown. The main thing with You got Tyler Huntley coming in. Okay, Lamar Jackson's out. The main thing there, though, is that this might be one of those weeks with a serious deficit game plan in place that Mark Andrews just gets peppered again. And in that case, maybe you get Bateman in there, but Marquise is definitely going to see some Jalen Ramsey today. Prochet and Duvernay are also active, by the way. So there's plenty of mouths to feed, and Mark Andrews is the big dog. Damn, AJ. I'm still stuck on that AJ or Antonio Brown, because AJ was my top wide receiver in his draft class. I've never wavered on that, but Antonio Brown has Brady. When Brady gets bored, he just gives it to one dude. And I've got a differential of literally one catch between them, with A.J. Brown in the lead of those catches. I'm not sure I can trust that against Miami. The Jets are horrible, right? Unless something magical changed this week that I completely missed, Jets are brutal. Carr versus Wentz. Holy, yeah. When you go head to head, the question becomes defense, right? I would go Wentz. It's not really that close of a question to me. Plus, we don't know if Bryan Edwards is going to play. A lot of people are still hating on Bryan Edwards, but the reality is he lets the rest of the receivers catch the ball. Darren Waller's out still. Moreau is about just above average. He can do what they need him to do, but he's not going to do what Waller can. Pittman's in. Jonathan Taylor's in. Carson Wentz is in. To me, Wentz seems like the easy answer. Oh, wow. Bruce Arians, coach of the Bucs, apparently ruptured his Achilles. How does that... That's an odd thing to happen on a Sunday morning, but maybe it didn't happen today, but I don't know. So across the two feeds, we're not seeing anything magical pop up. Nobody's getting hurt in pre-games, which is huge. Right? That's what always gets to us is the... And, so I'm running one of my feeds. This is a scout feed I use, but I also use an actual news ticker. These are last minutes that I do. So when I'm paying attention to the final minutes of things, this is where we're at. Gronk might get those peppers again as well. Same way we talked about with Antonio Brown. Schultz has been consistent. He's been my guy all year. But I'll be honest, today, Ertz is he's my sleeper pick because we know he can do it. He's not a sleeper as in nobody knows about him. He's a sleeper as in they're going to need to try and keep up. And while Schultz might outscore him, the chance for, just double checking, so we've got 7 targets, 5 targets, 3, 8, and 9 the last 5 weeks for Schultz. All right? So like I said, we know what Schultz is getting. You can count him in for about 5 to 8 catches. Maybe he gets the touchdown. We don't know. Now, at the same token, though, Ertz has been their go-to guy when it comes to the game. We're getting the last 2 weeks alone, 11 and 13. Thank you for coming in, Drake. Good luck. Seriously, good luck. A title is a hard thing to get. You get it, be proud of it. So Ertz with 11 and 13 targets the last 2 weeks. 7 before that. He had a bad week in Chicago. And that was the week that Chicago they embarrassed the piss out of Arizona, right? Like, you come into that game, you are heavy favorites. They're starting, I think it wasn't Foles that week. I think that was a Fields week. I don't know. I don't remember 13. I'd have to look, but they got embarrassed. Week before that, 9 targets. Like, he has been straight up one of the heaviest targeted guys. And Gronk, I'm not going to lie. A lot of people are saying, hey, Gronk, right? Gronk. Tom Brady, Gronk. I don't think Gronk is still Gronk. I think he's chilling. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's like, man, you know, just trying to get through, get healthy, contribute, but not do the Gronk things. You know, it's a feeling. I can't quantify that for you. Let's take a look at his targets. So 10, 8, 9, 11, 2. Catches. This is where it gets weird. With all those targets, except for last week, 7, 4, 5, 2, 1. 7, 4, 5, 2, 1. Like, he's going downhill. And again, you know, it may not be him falling apart. It may just be him easing up to make sure he gets through the whole year. Because remember, all they give a damn about is the Super Bowl. This is Tom Brady. He don't care about a damn thing but the Super Bowl. They in the playoffs, they get the division. That's all they care about. All right, they're not playing a title game this week. Kyler Murray or Joe Burrows? I'm going Joe Burrow everywhere I've got him. Like I said, I'm only in 2 title games, but I am in some tournament finals that still pay out. The key with Kyler Murray is, can he minimize the mistakes? Oh, I'm getting more questions now. If Kyler Murray can minimize the mistakes, he's competitive. Burrow, though, has all his weapons. I would lean him. And Gage or Patterson. Patterson's going to get the volume, but he might not have the upside. Do you need a floor play? If you're the favorite, I'd go Patterson. And you can just bench McLaurin's. You don't even have to ask another question about McLaurin. Sorry. Edmonds for sure. And I sure as hell would start Elijah Mitchell over DK Metcalf, but that's been a forever thing. McLaurin, the problem is they're falling apart, Washington. They just are. It's crazy. And Edmonds, Higgins, or Marquise Brown. That, to me, that's between Edmonds or Higgins. I would honestly go Higgins myself, but if James Conner doesn't play, Edmonds then actually is the better play. So now you have to decide, do I want to wait to make that decision? Because Edmonds is going to have a higher volume, ergo a higher ceiling opportunity. Higgins, we know what he did, but that might lean the defense to either space out better or lean to Higgins, which then brings Jamar Chase in as the boom player this week, not Higgins. So in that case, and Marquise Brown is just a sit. You can't count on him in a title game if you have better. The thing with Edmonds is, if he's not the only running back, there is an opportunity there for vulture of touchdowns by Connor. Aaron Jones or Chase Edmonds. Wow. The Green Bay Packer in me wants to say Aaron Jones, but I also am a huge 100% forever A.J. Dillon guy. He's a young Jerome Bettis style. They might split the carries evenly, right? Everybody's like, Aaron Jones took the job back. No, not really. Not if you watch. Chase Edmonds, it goes back to that volume. You have the luxury of waiting to make that decision. If Chase Edmonds is solo, take Chase Edmonds. Okay? Hunter Henry or Noah Fant. That's brutal. Hunter Henry in that case, just because you're praying for a touchdown. And yet, I mean, the comparison to Bettis is because he plays tough. Like, you have a lot of NFL guys, not like Derrick Henry plays tough. But you get big guys that don't play tough. They don't play power. And that's one thing Bettis always did, is he used his size. He said, to hell with that. I'm doing it. Claypool, Gage, Bateman, Deontay. Damn. It's almost Gage and Bateman for me. But I'm almost leaning Claypool over Bateman. That's hard. Deontay's kind of out the game, but I mean, he's off the charts for me. But Renfro or DK, man, that's a coin flip this week. Renfro's going to get the targets. The question is, can he convert them? I would probably start Renfro, but it would not shock me if DK actually finally had his blow-up game because they are hosting Detroit. They're going to be at home. They're going to maybe try to just have some fun at the end of the year type of thing. And in that case, Russell Wilson might just throw the hell out the ball for, no better reason than they're done. They're cooked. Knox or Gesicki? Knox, without a doubt. I'm a Dolphins fan, right? I'm a Dolphins guy. I'm not just a fins up. You know what I'm saying? I ain't starting Gesicki. They're just not. They're not game planning properly for him. Kareem Hunt. That's one I've been tossing around in my brain. I'm gonna give you a better look at this. So, damn. Because Patterson Gage is almost a who do you think is going to have a better game type of discussion. It's not a major thing. I mean, look, unless Washington somehow shuts down Philly, I don't see that happening. But all right, hold on. Let me hit my. Is Kareem Hunt playing? Because we were still waiting. No, Kareem Hunt is still questionable to even play, so Hunt's off the board. I mean, I would go Gage just because, as much as I love Jaret Patterson, remember too, his rookie profile was all about being able to be a contributing member of a running back backfield, but it wasn't being a game breaker, right? It wasn't being these are bad comparisons, but it wasn't a Cam Akers or a Jonathan Taylor. Those guys were near the top of the model, broke through. As far as Jaret Patterson, I'm going to give you the official Sports Info Solutions, which is also what the NFL uses. Okay? So I want to give you this. But he was a 6.2, which was a backup who can play all three downs, which, do you want him starting against Philly, who has a good run defense? My answer would be no. I know a lot of people are talking about that, but my answer is no. Now, I'm not seeing any crazy stats on him. I'm looking at basically total expected points per game, college stats, mind you. Here's another thing, broken tackles per game. That's one of the stickiest stats that comes from college into the NFL. And he was right there with Trey Sermon. So, he was closer to Javonte Williams than Trey Sermon. But, it is Philly, too. Rojo, Penny, or Hunt. Harris. For me, Rojo and Penny are locked in, okay? Damian Harris, like, he has big games against bad teams. And theoretically, they're supposed to be owning this game. So the question becomes, do you want to risk missing out on... Here's the question that you asked. Can you miss out on Rojo having a good game if Keyshawn Vaughn doesn't by playing Damian Harris. I would say, yes, I could live with that, but do you want to? Wide receivers. Cup, Samuel, then A.J. Brown at flex. I have Deontay Johnson. Honestly, I would flip Deontay for Debo Samuel just because Debo might do it, but he's got Trey Lance. He's got a rookie quarterback. And it's a 50-50 proposition. That's just a reality. It's a 50-50. You're right or you're wrong. There's no, we can't say that Debo's going to be Debo. And they might run crazy. Kenny Golladay or Russell Gage? I would trust Golladay, I would trust Gage just because we can't trust Golladay. Mixon as a lock and CD at flex. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I wouldn't mess with that. And I would take Tony Pollard over Devontae Freeman because we're not sure that Baltimore's even going to score in this game. That's the real truth. We don't even know if Baltimore can get above 14 points. And Berrios over Gage. If you have that choice, I would go Berrios because he is the number one wide receiver for them. And they're going to try to play. That's one thing that's different about the Jets. They're trying to play. No matter how bad they suck, they're actually trying to play every game. And I would start Gabe Davis. Everywhere you have a choice of Gabe Davis, or a third or fourth string wide receiver, or even a shared second string, always go Gabe Davis. Emmanuel Sanders is out. All right? Beasley's going to play. But Gabe Davis might rotate the slot with Beasley. Right? So one of them's going to be outside, one of them's going to be inside, back and forth rotating. And hey, as far as Odell Beckham, he's got more touchdowns than Baker Mayfield. That's the big stat of the week. Since he left Cleveland, he has more touchdowns than Baker Mayfield to wide receivers. Elijah Mitchell, Sony Michel, or Aaron Jones. Damn. My gut says Mitchell and Sony, but Aaron Jones could be... Yeah, Berrios, you're counting on luck. He really is, but his ceiling luck in a blowout. Remember too, Jamal Dean and Murphy Buntling, the cornerbacks, are issues. They had a late flight, so it might be a start slow. Maybe Berrios gets a couple lucky plays in. I don't know about that. And Gage does have the higher floor. You're absolutely right. So, I mean, you're thinking about this 100% correctly. The question is, what do you need? If you need the higher ceiling, I know how to answer that question for you. The Atlanta game, Atlanta, Buffalo, snow. Gage may not have a higher ceiling or a higher floor. Right? Now we've got questionable. That is expected to be a snow game. I don't have the weather report right in front of me. Of course, we want the weather reports. I don't have the weather reports. Why would I have the weather reports? I haven't even set my own lineup changes for the day. I've been busy talking with y'all. I mean, but you are thinking about it the right way, right? Like, what do we know about Braxton Berrios? Well, we know that he got the job because everybody else is hurt or out. Atlanta at Buffalo. No, I want the weather. I don't need predictions. I've already spent enough time on that. Yeah. So they are looking for... They're looking for snow and cold. I would question Atlanta as a whole, all the way around. Man, these Aaron Jones are getting to me because I don't think a lot about Aaron Jones. Just because I'm a a set and forget A.J. Dillon guy. I actually have him in over 60% of all leagues. I've traded for him in startups and other things. Now, Aaron Jones is actually set to have a better day than Sony Michel, projection-wise. But that comes out of receiving. And what we have seen is Sony Michel get a little bit more receiving work. So now, Yash, now the question is, who do you believe in? I would say flip a coin or bench Mitchell. I mean, if you think that San Fran, they're going to, there you go. Rookie quarterback, right? They're bad for pass catching running backs, and they are bad all around because they're taking part of the offense on the ground every time they run the ball. Bench Mitchell, right? Like, if you buy into those stats, now those are season long, so in an individual game, you have to make that decision. You know what? To hell with it. It's against Houston, right? Bench Mitchell. Go with your big dogs. DeAndre Swift, Hollywood Brown, or Darrell Williams at flex. Woof. Hollywood Brown's out. You can just take him off that damn list. I mean, not out, but he just... My answer to every Brown question is no. Swift or Williams? I can't believe I'm going to say Swift. I've been wrong about him from day one, though, just because I hate Detroit. But I can't believe I'm going to say it, but Seattle's defense is garbage. Outside of Dunlap being a decent pass rusher, they don't have a run-blocking defense. And yes, Swift would be normally concerning about the workload just coming back if it wasn't Dan Campbell. Like, Dan Campbell's the kind of guy, like, go in there, bite kneecaps, right? That is real. That's really who he is. And so if Swift has the 100% load that he would normally carry, he's going to ball out. All right, I'm not worried about Swift at all. The bigger question is, Darrell Williams against Cincinnati defense. Cincinnati might just be throwing the ball. They might just play shootout with Casey, And Devontae Smith or Mike Williams, I would always go Devontae Smith. Jalen Hurts is killing everybody because the passing volume isn't there. But Mike Williams is going to share time. And Devontae Smith is the number one target. And it's always Kittle. The answer is just always Kittle. I can't trust Zay Jones. I actually use him in a 32-team league. Okay, so there's 32 of us. We each represent one team. And I've had Zay Jones all year. And even on his good games, he hasn't helped me win a single time. But, you know what? Let me give you the exact where we feel Berrios is. Because the Berrios thing, I'm up against him. And to be honest, I would love if he just sucked. Even though I'm recommending him. But, it comes down to the recommendation. He's looking for 5 for 50. So you're looking at maybe, if you're lucky, you're looking at a 10-point game. So does 10 points out of Berrios help you? If not, you got to shift to somebody that you pray gets a better game, right? If 10 points is not enough. Because 5 for 50 wouldn't shock me. He got a special teams touchdown. Otherwise, we wouldn't even really be talking about him before. He's just kind of always been there. And Rashad Penny or Michael Carter, I ain't running anybody at Tampa Bay. I'm just saying that. I don't care who you are. Gage or Patterson. See, that's the... Man, we've come full circle. You see, you're messing me up, Jake. Because now we've come full circle to the one dude where I was like, nah, I ain't doing Patterson. But he's the one guy out of all of them that we can guarantee the volume. That's the difference. He is the one guy going up against a tough Philadelphia defense that we can guarantee he's going to get the volume required to actually perform. And all he needs is 1 or 2 touchdowns to outperform everybody else. Shit, man, you talked me into Jaret Patterson over Gage and over Berrios. I hope Berrios has a bad day, but quick answer, Ertz or Knox, either one. I would go Ertz just because it's going to be snowing in Buffalo, but pick 3. Justin, Jeff, DK, Cooks, OBJ. JJ and Cooks are for sures. The question is OBJ or DK. And Cooks, the only downfall is he's coming off the list, but realistically, we haven't seen any effects by him. Any information that he's either lost weight, felt bad, had symptoms, any of the crappy practice stuff. That's what you want to worry about. A guy coming off of the list who's had any kind of reports about not being well, right? Flu-like symptoms or worse. Those are the ones you don't play. We haven't heard that about Cooks, so Cooks is still a start. Wilson or Stafford? I mean, it's like either one, really. I would lean Stafford just because he gets to throw to Kupp, but Wilson gets to throw to Lockett, and Lockett was inside my top 12 for the year before the season kicked off and my account got shut down. I'm not worried about the other side of the ball. So it really comes down to who are they throwing to, and they both have great receivers. The question is, does Pete Carroll act like a donkey, right? Because I think they're just going to play for the hell of it. But does he act like a donkey and run the ball all day? If that's the case, Stafford is a definite slam dunk over Wilson. And the Chase Edmonds or Patterson, I'm sorry, I totally missed that. Edmonds, 100% if he's the only running back. I would still go Edmonds 85% over Patterson if, even if he's not the only one, just because they're going to play catch up, okay? They're going to play catch up. They don't have a choice. They don't have a choice to shut down and just quit playing. And if they do quit playing, shut down and quit playing, well, Chase Edmonds is still running the ball. Either way, they've got a better shot against Dallas than Jaret Patterson going against Philly. It's just Arizona runs the ball better. I'm not going to lie. I put Antonio Gibson at number 18 for the year preseason because I didn't believe in Washington. Okay, and I mean they haven't really proved me wrong. Gibson's had a few good games here and there, but realistically, week in and week out, you're not winning because of Washington players. And that includes McLaurin. I traded him earlier this year because I needed extra. So I wasn't trading him because I thought he was a failure, but I was concerned enough about the team without Fitzpatrick at quarterback that I just I walked away from everybody but Logan Thomas. Thanks for the likes. I mean, I appreciate y'all just hanging out with me because I haven't been doing this consistently week in and week out like I was. I do not have... We got 15 minutes. I probably should have checked some of my own teams, right? Like, nobody cares about your team. That's what we always say about analysts, and I'm not an analyst. Actually, I am an analyst by profession, but... See, now I have to choose. Do I want to sit Mitchell now? Y'all done make me question myself. But no, realistically, nobody cares about our teams, but we all care about each other's teams because we're all having fun doing this. The question is, at the end of the day, who's right or who's wrong? Here's what I want you to do. I'm going to post like a clip of this, and I want you to send a major comment if you lost or won because of something I said. Because I want to know if I screwed up. All right? Jefferson, Keenan, Chase. You got to choose between Jefferson and Chase. Keenan, for me, is an auto start today. Hunter, yeah, maybe that's the play. I'm worried about sitting Chase against Kansas City though. Um, if Gage puts up 20, then Buffalo lost. Let's be realistic about that. Um, and with Mannion starting, that is my concern as well. I have to start him. I don't have a choice. You have a choice. If Chase is the target this week because Higgins gets leaned by the defense, then you want Chase against Kansas City. But hey, Kyle, we were saying Rashad Penny over Carter. I mean, Carter is going against the number one run defense in the league. All right, you just don't run on Tampa. I almost would go Keenan Allen and Chase, and it's just weird to say because you go with your studs. Except this year, Justin Jefferson just lost his quarterback. It's hard to go with your studs when the studs don't have the players that made them who they, or got them the keys to the car. And I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not ignoring anyone, but I have to do a quick check down on just my lists. Jonathan Williams very well could play a role. I don't think you're going to see either running back really get much of anything overall of the Gibson style, right? Like whatever points you projected Gibson to get on a regular basis, I don't see Patterson or Williams or even combined them actually getting that this week. It's just this week. To me, it's an issue. But Williams getting a touchdown, that's entirely possible. Will that matter? I don't know. And y'all going to have to seriously bear with me for just a second because if I don't get this handled, then I just pooped away an opportunity. I will not start Sutton over Ertz. That's for damn sure. Let's see what we're working with. No, I think we're good to go, y'all. I think that's it for the day. I mean, hey, look, have a good time. I'm going to take a break. I might fire up a live just for watching and talking about the games and all, so keep an eye out. But, we're 12 minutes to the deadline. I'm just going to kind of call it a day. If you want to jump into, some stuff that I use as Darrell Williams, Penny, or Foreman, I would take Foreman out of that first, out of it. Darrell Williams or Penny. Darrell Williams or Penny. Darrell Williams, whatever. I'm sorry, I keep saying it weird, but I feel like Penny is the play. But we've seen Darrell Williams blow up. It's Penny if you're the favorite. Darrell Williams if you need a lot of extra points. Lockett or Waddle? I would go Waddle. But it wouldn't shock me if Lockett has a good day. But Waddle is going for the rookie record, and make no mistake, Tua is there for his boy Waddle. Jordan Howard over Patterson or Gage. I'm not trusting Jordan Howard today. I can't. And I sure as hell would start A.J. Dillon before most of the running backs we've discussed, backup running backs. Yeah, I'm not trusting Jordan Howard. I really am not. As far as the Penny Williams, yeah. Man, go with... What are you going to do with Rojo or Najee? Najee's got the volume. Rojo, I trust. Does that make sense? Rojo, and understand I'm a Rojo guy. Hold on to him for the future if you play in the dynasties. You ever have dynasty questions, DM me all the time, whatever. Cowboys, Cardinals, or Titans D. I'd go with Cowboys. I mean, they've been doing the turnovers. They've been the number one fantasy defense throughout this. Roll with what you got. And Cowboys are definitely a lead play. Even if the Cardinals put up a lot of points, the turnovers are where you want to. That's where you want to bank on a defensive special teams. Okay. Damn, Berrios, Gage, or Marquez Valdez-Scantling. See, that's one where I got to lean back to Berrios, but that's only a garbage time play. Russell Gage, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling it at Buffalo in the snow. And Marquez Valdez-Scantling, you're either going to get 0 or you're going to get 10. Unless he gets a long touchdown, which is percentage-wise no way to predict. I mean, Berrios, to me, has the volume opportunity to at least get you some points and not a 0. Russell Gage and MVS might get 0s, and it wouldn't shock me at all. That's hard, though. I mean, that's a hard-ass question. San Fran or Green Bay? Honestly, today, I'm taking the Packers D. Okay, you got Sean Mannion throwing the ball. I'm gonna give it a shot, right? I'm gonna take that. Boyd or Brandon Cooks? That's a volume play. Brandon Cooks is gonna get his. I wouldn't sit him for Boyd. St. Brown or Cooks? Damn. I'm still going Cooks there. I really am. Josh Allen or Aaron Rodgers? I hate to say I'm going to probably lean to Aaron Rodgers. I wouldn't be shocked to see Singletary take over that game, being with the weather and it's at home and they're heavy favorites and, running the ball. Singletary has been able to handle holding the game down, running the game and just being in control. I wouldn't be shocked to see Josh Allen just ease back a bit and stick to script, whereas Aaron Rodgers has that higher ceiling. And Herbert over Carr, I don't see Carr. I really don't. Not against Denver. Denver may suck as a team, but their defense is still what we think about when we think about that defensive secondary. You don't want to be messing with them unless you have to. Derek Carr doesn't have exactly the weapons that other teams do when it comes to facing down Denver. All right. I wouldn't mess with Carr over Herbert. That's almost like you're trying to get cute or tricky, and I've done that, and it doesn't end well. You regret it, and then you got to wait an entire year to get a Panthers or Titans D. The Titans D at least has a chance to mess with Miami. I'm not sure the Panthers defense is going to show up today. But if you get points for sacks, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I could trust the Panthers. And the Patterson Gage thing, man, I'm torn too. But again, I would count on Patterson getting his workload. Right? We've seen him do it. I don't know what to say about Gage. Gage, he had that fumble last week. Maybe that fumble now with the weather, with the snow, being a Masonic brother, I appreciate you trusting me, but I'm just trying to make the best logical deduction I can. If I had to choose, I would choose Patterson, which is weird to say because we started this whole thing with I ain't using Patterson. But then again, remember what I said. He had a 6.5 broken tackles per game rate compared to 7.3 for Javonte Williams. And remember what I said. That's the stickiest stat for a running back coming into the NFL is broken tackles, which is the reason I drafted Javonte Williams everywhere I had a top pick as my running back 1. Okay, so I had Javonte, Najee, Travis Etienne in that order, and Elijah Mitchell after. Swift or Singletary, I would go Swift. Huntley or Murray. Huntley's got a better upside, but I'm not sure. Swift definitely. Davis or Hardman. I'd go Gabe Davis. We don't know. We don't know what we get out of McCole Hardman on any given day. We want him to be the man, but he is not Tyreek Hill. He's just catching passes from Patrick Mahomes. That's it. Aside from that, he's just McCole Hardman, right? Like he's not Tyreek. Nobody's Tyreek. Huntley's got the bigger upside. Question is, I don't know. I gotta go Huntley. Gallup, Ogumawale, or Van Jefferson. I'd go Gallup first. Oh, Foreman. No. Definitely Foreman first. He's got the best opportunity to get the volume and the points. Gallup would be my second. Van Jefferson would be my third. I'm not feeling a Jacksonville. Like, if you got to start Jacksonville, it's brutal. Like, the thought of it is brutal alone. Moments away. I'm going to stick it out for y'all. What you got? I think my rosters are set. If they're not, I'm screwed. So, believe me, I'm going to put a post. I'm going to pin a post of my win or loss this week. It's only 2 title games. I got week 17, 18. I actually had somebody from the show, the Joe Boo Sports Report, just try to call me. Oh, yeah. See, J-Rob or Sanders would both be auto starts this week. But I actually had somebody just try to call me from the YouTube show I was doing, that asking me Javonte Williams or Michael Carter, and I'm not answering him. Huh? You're on the show with me. You should know what you're doing. I don't know if I can trust Foster Moreau. I mean, he's a floor play. 5 for 5, and I'm not shocked. Right? Like, if that's all he gets, 5 for 5, 10 points. Okay, cool. Foreman can get that with, 3 catches, 40 yards, and 40 yards on the ground. I'd go Cooper and Swift in a heartbeat. No. Swift and Williams, gotta be, right? I mean, Amari Cooper's got a share. Williams and Swift do not. I always lean towards people that are both talented and do not have to share. And I would start Mike Evans, because 1 touchdown can trump what MVS does. Okay? I'm going to flip the camera to end the day. We got some, this is what happened since Marino left, it's a little scary. But Mike Evans for sure. Hunter Henry over Moreau, because you've got that shot at a touchdown. You always go with the talent first. Talent first, and then, volume second, right? Like, here you go. You got like Kerry Collins when he took the Panthers to the playoffs. Brett Favre, Bledsoe, Steve Young. Like, these are all talent guys. Always lean talent first, okay? And if talent and volume come together, they're auto starts. And, that's it. May you all win championships. And please, as an owner of the Packers, we take pride. We take pride in standing for what we say. So if I'm wrong, I want to know. And trust me, if you send me a message that says I was wrong, or post a comment, I am going to make that a video telling the world I was wrong, because we're here to win titles. We're not here just because we're bored. Y'all have a great day. Good luck, week 17.